So right here, Dustin's gotten in great shape. His work capacity is way up, and that's one of the primary purposes of off-season powerlifting, is to develop the work capacity, and not keep just beating the hell out of yourself over and over with the same movements all the time, and develop muscle hypertrophy along the way as well. And also, Dustin is in the National Guard. He's a recruiter, so he has to keep his fitness levels up. He can't just only be, you know, in that bench, squat, deadlift box and do nothing else. He has fitness assessments he has to pass, which he passes with flying colors. And we haven't got challenging yet, so this will be the fourth one so far. 8 sets, going 50 feet here with 335, and a 1 minute break between sets.
Awesome. So hey, my name is Dustin Kueck. Right now I'm a 275 weight class powerlifter. Last meet was a few weeks ago. I got 1901. Squatted 699.9, bench 545, deadlift 655. Started competing about almost 18 months ago, and I'm just kind of going with it. So my goal personally is just keep improving. So I don't really look at other people. It's nice to see where other people are at, I guess, but all I can do is what I can do, and hope at the end of the day I'm better than everybody else. That's the goal eventually. So
Dustin's gotten in great shape. His work capacity is way up, and that's one of the primary purposes of off-season powerlifting, is to develop the work capacity, and not keep just beating the hell out of yourself over and over with the same movements all the time. This will be the fourth one so far. 8 sets, going 50 feet here with 335, and a 1 minute break between sets. I'm gonna have a little more to show on the technique as it gets a little heavier right now. I mean, he's gotten strong enough and good enough condition now, four into this, and it's almost like he's running backwards. So I haven't been able to really show you much about how he's, you know, when he gets tough, you got to lean back, dig in, that kind of thing.
yeah, next goal probably take about 6 months. Competing stressful. I don't like doing it every month, so I'd like to improve, get a 2K total. I'd like to hit a 700 deadlift for once in my life. That'd be awesome. So just humble goals, I guess, for me.
Bench too.
Yeah, 600 bench. Hey, bench is, believe it or not my favorite lift. I'm just really good at it. So, but it's kind of like I say it's like your straight A student coming home to try to brag about their straight A's. Like, that's expected, okay? So you should be improving on bench. Obviously 600 would be awesome. So that's like a lifetime goal until I hit it. Then it'll go up from there.
About what Dustin's doing right here, besides getting out and moving some, quads hard here, thighs hard, and it's very low impact on his lower back. There's no, you know, spinal compression when he's dragging a sled like that, so that's huge. And plus, you know, there's obviously not any eccentric when he's doing the sled here too, so he can recover a little bit faster. So if you're trying to bring your quads up or anything like that, you can do this actually multiple times a week, and it would not have the same impact on your you know, overall, you know, muscles, joints, and your central nervous system because of, you know, the lack of the eccentric here. So it's huge for that. Back, perfect. Not stop those feet, ready? Come on. Keep those arms straight. Come on, don't stop. Don't stop, don't stop.
National Guard recruiter. I started recruiting about three-ish years ago. So before that, I've always lifted, just kind of recreation, done what the Army told me as far as fitness. When I came out on recruiting, I was like, cool, I don't have to wake up in the early morning, I don't have to run, I don't have to do all that stuff. And I started getting hurt, basically. Wasn't well balanced, kind of like today's workout. It's more trying to make you well balanced, so you're not all hurt all the time, and you're always improving. So what I found was, yeah, I started working on running, jumping, just moving like a human being, and I started getting stronger. And then one of the coaches at a gym where I live, he recommended that I try powerlifting. He was actually an Olympic weightlifting coach, but Yeah, so I signed up for a meet 2 weeks out, and you know, at first I told him like, I don't know, that sounds really boring. Like it's just you're just standing still, maxing out. Then I saw, like I said, I signed about 2 weeks out, and I saw the sport part of it. Like, you know, if I go for this number and I miss it, now I'm down 20 pounds, stuff like that. So the sport intrigued me, and then obviously it just gives you a goal. Like I said, all I can do is what I can do. So I just kind of set numbers. I'd like to try to hit this, and it's just something to work for, and just keeps you moving. So
awesome. I think an important point we've touched on before, and Dustin said it without being any kind of prompting or anything, is he continually strives to beat himself. No, so that's what it's all about. You just keep beating yourself over and over, and no matter where you're at, if you keep doing that for a while, you start beating everybody else. And that's a huge total he's going for, 2,000 pounds, totally raw, no knee wraps or anything. And you know, sometimes, you know, we gotta lose sight of some people are lifting so much weight nowadays. But I mean, 2,000, you're like, you know, definitely in the top 1%, absolutely. So I mean, it's a huge total, endless potential here because he's not afraid to work.
So when he's in that carry right there, if you watch Dustin's upper back, when he's just relaxed versus when he's doing that, you can see how hard it's isometrically working to hold all that right there. You're leaving a lot of hypertrophy on the table if you never include these kind of carries. Plus, you're gonna be way less. You're gonna be way more resilient. If all you do is, like we've talked about before, is you're just a little box and never do anything else. What if you walk down the street and, you know, someone throws a banana? One of your enemies has a banana and throws the peel. You know, you gonna be ready for it, or you know, you'd be acquainted with the local orthopedic surgeon. It's your choice.
It's going to be different for every lifter. Dustin, even though he's been powerlifting for a long time, he's been, you know, lifting weights for quite a while. He's very strong, so he got to an advanced level very quickly. Point being, with someone like Dustin, we're going to do, it's good for him to get some variation in the lift. So instead of just bench, squat, and deadlift all the time, or if you're a beginner, the off season's a good chance to hit more volume in those lifts and really build up your technique, because you're working on what you need work on. So this case for Dustin, he's pretty technically sound, so it's a good chance to get away from those movement patterns, do something else, move around. So he builds his work capacity, gets muscle hypertrophy from the different training stimulus and from the right training stimulus, both.
With powerlifting, you think about it with your deadlifts and things like that. Like when you lock out a deadlift, one of the synergist muscles or the assisting muscles of the lockout's the hamstrings. So you get, but the hamstrings, you remember, they can extend the hips or flex the knees. So a lot of times with powerlifting, you get all that hip extension with your hamstrings, but you don't get any knee flexion. So just think about, like, if you're in the NFL, you're a lineman, your primary objective, whether you're, you know, run blocking or pass blocking, you have to get a good push. It'd be illegal to pull people towards you. But that does not mean you should not work those pulling muscles. Same thing here, you know. Just because you're not doing, like, you know, a lot of it, you're not getting that hamstring work there, doesn't mean you shouldn't get. I know it's not the exact same thing, but just because you're not getting it there, it doesn't mean you shouldn't get it here. You want to be structurally balanced across the board to avoid injuries.
If all you do is sit in that bench press, squat, and deadlift box and never do anything else, what do you do when real life hits? You know, and it's not just for that purpose. It's actually gonna make your stabilizer muscles, all that stuff, stronger and make you more resilient to injury, because that's a huge part of what's gonna stop people. You know, why isn't anybody totaled this much? Why isn't anybody bench press this much, or whatever number you're gonna throw out there? At the end of the day, I think it's injuries is why people haven't. Like, human beings are nowhere near their strength potential, and right now the limiting factor at this point in our evolution, for lack of a better term, is injuries. That's the reason people haven't, you know, bench pressed 900 pounds yet, or even 800 at this point, is because of injuries. It's not like the human body could not take that, or not strong enough. It's just something happens. So the more resilient Dustin becomes, the further in his personal evolution, the evolution of the sport.